Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Welcome to AspenTech's ACT v16 premiere. You're an exclusive bunch here, some of the first to actually see ACT version 16. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules for our webinar. I'm Marshall Knapp, Senior Consultant here at AspenTech. Also joining us on the call today is Greg Knapp, President and co-owner. Also Tanya Shaheen, our Office Manager. If you're having any difficulty with the size of the window on your screen, if it's too big, too small, there's a area in the top left corner of the GoToWebinar window where you can manage that zoom level there, so you can make it bigger, make it smaller, that sort of thing. We've also got a lot of people on the call today, so we're going to keep all the lines muted. Feel free to post questions to the chat portion that's in the bottom right corner of the GoToWebinar sidebar on the right-hand side of your screen there. We'll be monitoring those chat questions, and we'll take some time throughout the presentation today to address those items. Also, I want to let you know that following today's webinar, you'll be hearing from us. We're going to get an email out to everyone either later today or tomorrow, which will include an order form with pricing, as well as a recording of this presentation as well. So if you've got any colleagues that couldn't make it and want to review a recording of the presentation, we'll have that available for you as well. Additionally, in the next couple of weeks, we're going to plan to reach out to each of you individually to talk a little bit more about your ACT upgrade, and if it makes sense for your business, so you can expect that from us as well. And certainly, if you'd like to reach out in the meantime, feel free to do so. So here's our agenda for the day, sort of a brief overview here of the different things we're going to chat about. We're going to talk about SwiftPage, the new owners of ACT, and we're also going to talk about AspenTech. We're going to talk a lot about ACT itself, particularly ACT version 16. And note we're calling it v16 or version 16, not 2014 any longer, although that's sort of the equivalent to what they've done in previous years with the yeared releases. As we go through the webinar, like I said, feel free to post questions to the chat. You'll see that we're going to take some time throughout the webinar, especially at the end as well, to address as many of those questions as we can. So who is SwiftPage and what do they do? Well, SwiftPage provides digital marketing and CRM solutions, and they really are focused on helping businesses grow. From the email marketing side of things, to social media marketing, to the CRM systems that we implement. SwiftPage has been in this business for 11 years, and a huge part of that has been with ACT. SwiftPage has been a big part of ACT over the years. As many of you probably already know, SwiftPage is the email marketing service that you use with ACT. It is the service that goes along with ACT. So it was sort of natural when SwiftPage decided to acquire ACT from Sage. They're a great fit for each other. It was a natural acquisition that we're all really excited about here. The two key products that we focus on are SwiftPage and ACT. SwiftPage is the email marketing, social media marketing side of things. ACT is the sort of repository for the data, the customer and contact manager, the CRM system itself. We've got some new people on the call that aren't as familiar with AspenTech, so I want to take just a second and talk a little bit about AspenTech and our services. We're a leading provider of custom ACT CRM systems. Our goal is to help our clients create a system to better manage customer data relating to sales and marketing. And along the way, we try to incorporate as many core business processes that we can in order to accomplish your goals and meet your targets. We offer software sales, consulting, training, and support, really everything else that goes along with your ACT CRM system. Sort of a quick overview of the way you access the ACT system. ACT is available really everywhere: Office, mobile, tablet. There's a variety of different ways you can access it, whether you're in the office on a desktop, a remote salesperson with a laptop, where you need access from your phone or your tablet, you get access to ACT everywhere. This diagram shows you a fairly typical ACT deployment for our clients. We've got the main database in the headquarters there. We've got a number of users right there on the local network accessing that database. We've got traveling salespeople, some home office users, even another office in a different location sharing that same database. And so this gives you an idea of what your ACT deployment might be able to look like. So we know what you're all here for. It's ACT v16. And so let's talk a little bit about some of these new features that we have in ACT v16. We've got new mobile groups and companies. So on the ACT mobile side of things, we have access to groups and companies. Mobile email as well. Some custom views specifically for our tablet users on mobile devices. Calculated fields and contacts and opportunities entities. Company management tools to make that task a little bit easier for you. A new history list view would be very helpful for a lot of people out there. The ability to reschedule multiple activities. The ability to create a lookup from a universal search. Automated email notifications from your ACT scheduler. The ability to do database design, customize your fields, add fields to the layout through the web interface. Support for Google Chrome, and also support for Office 2013. Let's dive in with these and look a little bit closer at some of these new features. So the mobile groups and companies, if you've got ACT for Web and you've got ACT Mobile and you're accessing the web-based software from either a tablet or your cell phone, there's two new views for you. There's the groups view and the companies view. And these really round out the core entities now that are available in the ACT Mobile solution. We've also got the ability to set up email within the mobile application. So inside ACT Mobile, you set up your mail server. This allows you to send email directly from ACT Mobile and have your histories automatically recorded to the live ACT database. There's also the new tablet views that I mentioned earlier. So if you're accessing ACT, say, from an iPad, we're taking advantage now of some of that real estate that's available to us, giving you the sidebar here showing your current lookup so you can easily tab between the different contacts. You see the list of contacts on the left. You see the details of those contacts on the right. There's also the new calculated fields where we can, through the defined fields area of the database, we can perform some important math functions in here. Calculations are made upon the record being saved. Calculations are also made when data is imported, synchronized, whether it's input through the main ACT interface or through the web interface or mobile interface, doesn't really matter. The calculations are taking place as soon as that record is saved to the database. This works on contacts and opportunities. We can do currency, decimal, numeric, and date calculations. Things like commission, age, days to contract renewal, stuff like that are all very easy tasks using calculated fields. Company management allows you to set preferences for when companies would be automatically created by the ACT system. You can sort of set a threshold for when you want ACT to auto-create and auto-attach contacts to that company. You just pick a number, say if you want to create companies or create a company-level record as soon as it sees two contacts at the same company, you can set it that way and it'll do so automatically in the background. There's a new history view here where you can sort and filter your histories by date, by types, keywords, and users. You can export to Excel for easy ad hoc reporting using a lot of the tools that you're very familiar with already in Excel. It sort of provides you with a rear view mirror for your ACT database. Great for a business owner, sales manager, somebody like that to go in and look and see what's happening in the database. There's an example of some of the of it exported to Excel and some of the things you can do with it once you got it into Excel there. You can also now, from the task list, reschedule multiple activities. Instead of rolling over all of your activities or rescheduling them one at a time, now you can reschedule and sort of select bunches as you need to. From the universal search window, you can create a lookup of either the resulting contacts or company-level records that you produce from the universal search that you do. So in the past, you could pull up just one item from the list. So in this case, looking at these histories, you could pull up one of those histories. Now you can actually pull up a list of all the contacts where those histories, who those histories pertain to. From the ACT scheduler, we've got the email notifications, and this way you'll never miss a backup without being notified, never have your maintenance not run without being notified. Through the web user interface here, we've got the define fields and the design layouts areas. Taking a closer look at that, here's the define fields window through Internet Explorer. Here's the design layouts window through Internet Explorer again. We've also got support now for Google Chrome. I mentioned that earlier. They've addressed over 70 defects pertaining to Chrome. Chrome was never a supported browser before, so there were inevitably some issues with it. But Chrome is a fully supported Internet browser now. So I'd like to take a second and just remind everybody to post questions to the chat window if you have any that come up. Greg's over here monitoring them, so we'll take a few minutes and as we start to accumulate some questions, address those. So post those to the bottom right corner of the GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. Okay, so now I'd like to actually take a little bit of time here. We'll actually go through a live demo of ACT version 16. Give me just a moment, and we'll pull that up here. Okay, and let's get this over on our main screen over here. Okay, so let's see if actually I can expand this a little bit here. I don't know that I can. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that okay. Actually, we're going to start with the mobile side of things. Let me drag that one over here. And I want to note that we are using a beta build of ACT version 16. Beta builds are prone to bugs and glitches, so I apologize in advance if we run into any. But know that the developers at SwiftPage are hard at work addressing those types of bugs and glitches prior to the release here in the next few weeks. Let me go ahead and log into ACT Mobile. And you can see I'm actually doing it through Google Chrome. We find that Google Chrome is a good sort of replacement for an iPad or iPhone, that sort of thing. It kind of behaves similarly. So what you're seeing here would be comparable to what you'd see logging in from an iPad, for example. So we go ahead and log into the ACT 2014 demo. I'm logging in as Chris Huffman, our typical demo user. And as soon as I log in, you have the main entities here. You'll see the groups and companies entities. These are brand new to ACT v16. I'm going to go into the groups area. You can see a list here of all the main groups you have in your ACT database. So let me just click on one of these or tap on one of them if it were your iPad. And within here, you can send an email to the group, schedule an activity with the group, insert a note, record a history. If your security permissions allow, even delete the group. If I scroll down a little bit further here, I can actually see all the different members of this group. These are all my customers. And from here, I can easily click on one of these contacts and go directly to their contact record as well inside of ACT Mobile. If you're not familiar with ACT Mobile, let me just take a second and show you some of the things that you have inside the contact record here. You have the ability to dial their phone, call their cell, write an email, schedule an activity, record a history, map their address, Scrolling a little further down here, you have some of the basic contact information. You also have the ability in the more details area to add as many of your custom fields that you have on the contact records to this area, so you can see some additional items that are not necessarily here by default. Under the related items as well, we have the Activities tab, the Notes tab, the Histories tab, and the Opportunities tab. Basically the same things you'd normally see when you're on the contact record in your main ACT system. Let me go back here for just a second. I'm going to go back again, and one more time back here, and I'm going to go into the companies area of the database. And so here you can see the companies list as well. Let's just pick one of these here, Ace Pet Store, for example. Again, we can write emails, schedule activities, those types of things. We can see some of the company details, and we can see the contacts here that are related to this particular company or who are linked to this company. From one of these, if I wanted to write an email, let me find out if somebody actually has an email address. Who is it? JJ. Let's just hit write email from there. You can see it actually brings up a compose email dialog box. This is brand new in ACT v16, where now I can type test, type an email to them, hit send, and that's automatically going to go out to them from me, and it's going to go direct into the history tab of my ACT database for this contact. And looks like we have a problem with the way the mail server is set up on here. No problem. As long as you properly configure your mail server in here, everything will work as it should. So those are some of the new things in ACT Mobile here. Go ahead and click out of that. Let me drag this off, and let me go back to the live ACT system here. Let's take a few minutes and talk about calculated fields. I'm actually going to create a calculated field just to show you how easy this is. We've got things like the birthday on the contact record, so why don't I create an age field for my database. I'm going to create an age field. It's going to be a calculated field. The type of calculation is going to be a date calculation. I'm going to use birth date as my starting point, and I'm going to do years since, from that date to today. So I hit finish. Now I've got that field as a part of my database. Now I just need to add it to my layout. So I'm going to say yes to that. And let's get over to the personal info tab here. Let's add a new field, age, add, okay. Now, we're not going to take the time right now to make it all nice and neat and clean. Normally I would, but for our purposes today, we're looking for the results. And so as we can see there, it automatically calculated the age. Now, this is all instantaneous in the background. As I scroll through these contacts here, it's automatically updating these ages to show me the current contact record. As soon as I put in that calculated field, the database automatically calculates based on all the existing data that's already in there. If I change somebody's birth date, like let's say this gentleman was born in 1981 instead of 1964, either save the record, leave the record, whatever you do to force the save on it. As you know, ACT automatically saves anytime you leave a record, or you can always click the save button there, but as soon as the data is saved, the age field is updated. A couple other examples of this, if I jump over to the opportunities area of the database, let me pull up one of these here. Let's say I set an estimated close date of, I don't know, December 1st of this year, and then, again, save the record. You can see that I've got 110 days now to the close of this potential opportunity. Much like ACT already had a system field calculating the number of days open, now we've got something calculating the days to the close. You can also see here I added a commission field, which is automatically calculating a 15% commission on all the opportunities. Now, I built in the 15%, but I could also have a field for the commission itself where you put in the commission, and then it takes the commission times the total and automatically calculates that for you. An example of another way you might use these things is, for example, the days to close. You could take a smart task and have it automatically email the owner of this opportunity, the record manager, when this opportunity is 30 days from the estimated close, reminding them to go revisit it. It's a great use of the new Smart Tasks feature that was added in the 2012 version. So moving on from calculated fields, let's talk about the company preferences. We have under Tools, Preferences. Any administrator of the database can do this. There's an Admin tab with Company Preferences. You can set it to create companies automatically when it finds X number of contacts that have the same company name. So let's just set this at 2 for now, and we'll say yes, and apply, and OK. So let me go over into the contacts. Now let me create a couple of new contacts. Let's create a new contact at ABC Corp named Jane Doe. We'll save her, and then we'll create another new contact at ABC Corp named John Smith. OK. So ABC Corp is not blue, underlined, hyperlinked, anything like that. But as soon as I save this record, now that I've got, did my preference save? Let's take a look. As soon as I save this record, it should automatically create these companies. OK, so I've got 2 there at ABC Corp. And let's take a look at that. Sorry about that. As I mentioned, this is beta software, so sometimes we do run into some challenges. I set that at 2. You've changed the company. 0 new companies will be created. Let's change that one more time here. Let's go to 3. And then let's create a new one for ABC Corp. Let's try to save that. OK. I can assure you this normally does work and will be working at release. Sorry about that I'm not able to show you that a little better here in the demo. So one of the other new areas of the system is the history view here, where we can filter by dates. So you can go in today, just past dates, tomorrow, yesterday, last week. Being history, you probably wouldn't use much of the future items, but the last week, last month, current week, current month, those types of things would probably be pretty helpful. You can also go in and do a custom date range as well. You can filter by different types of histories in here. So right now I've got it filtered to just activity histories. Maybe I just want to see emails or attached files instead, so I'll check those too. So now I'm just looking at emails and letters basically that have been attached to this database. You can also filter by users. So right now I'm filtered for just Chris Huffman. I could set this to all users, or I could do a selection of different users like that. I can also query this based on keywords, and it's going to search the regarding as well as the details area of the system. So let me see if I want to find anything sales related. I could type in sales, hit enter, and now all these regardings that have sales as part of it are now showing in my view here. You can also take this data and quickly dump it out to Excel. And you'll notice here I'm using Office 2013, fully compatible with this new version of ACT. So I've got that dumped out to Excel. Now you can do things like insert charts and tables and all that good stuff too. Very nice way to do some quick and easy reporting. Another new area while we're in the list view here, let me jump to the task list. The ability to reschedule multiple activities. So if I highlight a few activities here, right-click, now I can reschedule activity. You've always had the ability to right-click and reschedule one activity, but never multiple activities. So this can save you a lot of time and hassle, dragging and dropping a bunch of things on the calendar. You just go in, set these to a new date. OK, let's set them for the 16th of August of this year. We'll say OK. And now if I go over on the calendar and look at the 16th, there's those activities that I just rescheduled. The universal search area in the top right corner here. Universal search isn't brand new. It was actually new in the 2012 release. But what is new is the ability to create the lookups for contacts and companies. So I'm going to search for a particular term here, and we'll take a look at how that works. I'm going to search for the term inventory. And when I search for the term inventory, very quickly ACT returns the results of wherever the word inventory shows up in this database. And I can see here there's 3 different notes that are on different contact records in the database that correspond to inventory. So maybe I was trying to find, who it was I was talking to last week about inventory, and I couldn't remember their name for the life of me. So I just put in inventory in my search, and ACT finds that term no matter where it was in the database. This will even search attached documents. So let's say I had a file attached, like a Word document, to one of these contacts, and I had the word inventory in there. This would find that. Now what I can do is I can hit Create Lookup, hit the Contacts button there, and now I've got a lookup of those 3 contacts that have those notes pertaining to inventory on them. There's the inventory on this one, and I'm sure the next 2 will also have inventory in there as well. Another new area here is the ability for the ACT scheduler to automatically fire off the emails when your tasks succeed or fail. So you set up the email alerts by just going in and putting in your mail server settings and that type of stuff. And then when you're creating a task, like let's set up a backup for our database here. Our database backup, that's all fine. Keep the last, let's say, 7 backup files. Do it every day at 10 p.m. And yep, I want to get an email notification. So send me an email every time this task's run, so I know if it's either succeeding and making my backups every night, or if it's failing and I need to take a look at something to make sure that I'm, got that safe backup available for restore. Okay, let's take a look at a few other things inside the ACT application itself, and then I'll jump over into Chrome and show you a couple things in the web version. There are a number of people on the call that are not on the latest ACT release 2013, which is the one prior to v16, which is coming out here in a few weeks. For some of you users on 2011, 2012, some of the new features added in the last couple of years here, or maybe even if you're on an older version. Social media updates is a big one, the ability to connect to LinkedIn and Facebook profiles for your contacts. Let me pull up actually my own record in here. So here I am. It automatically attached to my Facebook page here. Once you attach it on one system, so if I go to my Facebook page here, link it to this particular contact, then every time I bring up this contact or every time somebody else brings up this contact, as long as they have access to their Facebook page, they're going to see this, or at least the public version of it. Let's say they're not friends with this individual. So that automatically pulls up the full Facebook site. Also, same with LinkedIn. Once you set it and attach it to LinkedIn, anytime you go to this contact, you can go directly to their LinkedIn profile. And other users in your organization who share this database would be able to do the same thing. Something else we're added in the last couple of years is the integration with Google for contacts, calendar, even history recording of your emails. More and more people are going towards using Google for these types of things, especially with the phones that integrate with them. So it's great that your ACT database can plug into those as well. I mentioned smart tasks earlier during the opportunities portion. Smart tasks are a great way to automate some of the mundane tasks in your database. It could update certain fields, like let's say you take a zip code and update a sales territory field or a sales rep field, or take an industry and then update a sales rep field. You could also, like I mentioned during the opportunities, take anything that's 30 days to close and send a reminder to the record manager that they've got those pending opportunities coming up for close. Here's a birthday reminder, so it schedules an activity on your calendar to remind you to contact that individual because they've got an upcoming birthday. And you can see a lot of different default templates here that are sort of out of the box. You can also create your own as well. Something else added in the last couple of years is support for Windows 8, support for Small Business Server 2011, also support for Server 2012. So not brand new to ACT v16, but added in the last couple of years here. Let me slide this off over here, and what I'd like to do is take the Google Chrome browser that I have here and log into the demo database just to show you how smoothly it actually operates inside of Google Chrome here. And you can see you can navigate through the different entities here. Like I go into contact detail, very comparable to what we're seeing in the main version of the software that we have installed on our desktop, although we're doing it through Google Chrome. Some of the new features in the web version are the ability to do the define fields. So you can say I can go in here and define fields just like I could if I were in the main ACT database through the Windows software. You can also do design layouts. So here we are in Chrome designing layouts. I can take fields and delete them. I can add new fields to the database here. Pretty much everything you can do through the Windows version from a define field and design layout standpoint is now available to you through the web version. And I've been notified that the reason my companies were not auto-creating is that I put the contact name in the company field. In our own ACT database, we have the company name on top and the company name up top and the contact field down below. So let me actually pull up something here. Let's pull up ABC. And yep, I've got the names flip-flopped here indeed. So why don't I take those and we'll put ABC Corp there. This will be Jane Doe. Okay, and then we'll take John Smith, ABC Corp, John Smith, and we'll save this record. Yes, we'll continue working with that. Still not working for me. I'm not 100% sure why. But we will get that figured out and resolved there. So I guess I'll apologize once again for, oh, I've got it set at 3 now. That's why. Had it set at 2 before. Now I've got it set at 3. So let's actually pull up that last ABC Corp contact that I put in there. Take that, bring it down here. We'll add Greg at ABC Corp. Save that. Okay. And now we've got a company record. Perfect. So you can see it's blue, underlined, and hyperlinked. And the same would be true on the other 3 contacts. And now they're all part of the ABC Corp company record here. So thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad to see that the software is not going crazy. It's just me. Okay, so that concludes the live demo portion here. What I'd like to do is jump back over to our PowerPoint, and we'll jump in and talk about a few more things relating to ACT v16, sort of some administrative items, some pricing, other things like that. We've got some prizes to give away as well. So let's jump into the next slide here. ACT 2011. For all the ACT 2011 users out there, it doesn't pertain to anybody with anything newer than ACT 2011, doesn't pertain to anybody with anything older than ACT 2011. But ACT 2011 users, let me grab your attention for just 30 seconds here. Your product is part of an obsolescence program. And basically, obsolescence, obsolete, SwiftPage will be discontinuing your product in about a month and a half here at the end of September. What it means is you're running an unsupported version of the software, so if it breaks or if something's not working right, there aren't that many avenues to go down to try to resolve those problems. You won't be able to purchase additional ACT 2011 licenses, and since everybody in your office needs to be on the same ACT version, that can potentially be problematic. It's not going to work with any new Microsoft Office versions, including the one that's out now, 2013, or any version that comes out after here. It's not supported on Windows 8 or with Small Business Server 2011 or Server 2012. So if you're looking to replace computers anytime soon, you're likely looking at Windows 8 for your desktops and laptops. You're likely looking at Small Business Server 2011 or Server 2012 for your servers. And if you wait to upgrade until your ACT 2011 is no longer supported, your price virtually doubles because you're no longer eligible for upgrade pricing. You have to buy new licenses at that point. So keep that in mind, that there's sort of that September 30 deadline for you ACT 2011 users to take advantage of some of the promotions that are going on. Now, that being said, we've got some even better promotions than what you'll see between the last couple weeks of September we've got some other things going on the next month or so here. So that's really the time that you want to act. And we'll get more into those details here in a few minutes. Let me jump to the next slide here. Another thing we wanted to mention is that SwiftPage is changing a little bit about the way ACT Business Care works. I would say a majority of our clients purchase ACT Business Care with their ACT licenses. And in the past, your ACT Business Care being valid when the new product came out each year got you that next version of the software. Well, SwiftPage has decided that it's probably in the best interest of everybody, and we would agree, that they go away from doing annual releases. It gives them more time to focus on the product instead of trying to rush something out the door every year. So that's why it's called ACT v16, not ACT 2014. Customers who are on Bronze Care, whether you have an active subscription now or you purchase one in the future, you're going to receive feature packs throughout the year. And the feature packs that are included with your Bronze Care are free, and they're going to add new in-demand features and functionality to your existing software. So you're not upgrading to a new version of the software, but you're installing a new feature pack, and that comes to you free as part of your Bronze Care. Service packs addressing bugs, glitches, stuff like that will continue to be provided for everybody who owns that version of the software, regardless of a business care subscription. The other couple levels of business care are Silver Care, which includes Bronze, basically all the same benefits there, plus unlimited Tier 1 support direct from SwiftPage. So you've got their help desk there. Silver Care includes unlimited Tier 1 support. You'll see later when we go into the pricing, we're not even offering Bronze right now because Silver is the same price. So with the promotions that we have available to us here, with the pre-release date the next few weeks, you can get Silver for what normally would be the Bronze price, plus some huge discounts on top of that. Gold is basically the same as Silver, except it's unlimited Tier 2 tech support. Those are the same people we talk to if we can't figure out a problem. So there's some really good benefits there as well. One other thing to note about business care is if you have valid business care when ACT version 16 is released, basically in the first couple weeks of September there, if your business care is still valid then, you'll automatically receive ACT v16 when it ships. Let's take a few minutes and actually talk about some of the special pricing that we have during this preview period or pre-release or promo period. As we mentioned, they're huge savings. We can pretty much guarantee these are going to be the lowest prices you'll find anywhere. Special offers that we have are good through Wednesday, September 11th. The first 5 orders of 4 or more premium licenses are going to get an additional license completely free. So let me actually pull up the price sheet. We'll take a look at this. Now this is something we're going to email everybody after the presentation, either later today or tomorrow. So you'll have this in your hands to take a look at. As you can see, the order deadline is Wednesday, September 11th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're an ACT 2013 user now, and you do not already have a business care plan, you can add a business care plan prior to the release of ACT v16, and you'll get ACT version 16 for less than it would cost you to upgrade to it and also get that plan. It's slightly more than what the upgrade itself would cost. In this case, you see $160 there for Silver Care for Pro versus just $144. But what's $15 if that's going to get you all the new feature packs that are released throughout the life of your plan? Not to mention the unlimited support as well. If you're saving $69 on that Silver Care plan for our 2013 users, $99 on a Gold Care plan, $87 if you're on Premium for Silver, $117 on Gold for Silver. As we scroll down here, you'll also see things available for our 2011 and 2012 clients. 2011 users, you're lumped in with the 2012 ones because you still qualify for upgrade pricing until the end of September. This pricing here itself is only valid until September 11th. But remember, at the end of September, Act 2011 users, you no longer qualify for any of the upgrade pricing. So basically wipe these off the board if you're a 2011 user, and this is what's going to be available to you, although maybe slightly higher because you're not going to get these same promos the latter part of September. So Act 2011 users, the 2010 users were in the same boat as you last year. So here's what they're offered now. They don't qualify for upgrade pricing, unfortunately. Although there's still some huge savings to be had, it's better if you're upgrading while you've still got a supported and maintained version of the software. So in all these different areas, at least the bottom tier, 2011, 2012, and 2010 and earlier, you can buy just Act Pro. You can buy Act Pro with Silver Care, Act Pro with Gold Care. You can buy Act Premium with Silver, Act Premium with Gold. All those 6 different options are available to you there. The Act 2013 users, if I go back up for just a moment, the reason you only have the 4 options is because you already own Act 2013. You're not buying product or licensing. You're just adding the care plan on top of it. So hopefully that makes sense. But like we said also, we're all planning on following up with you after this too, and you can also reach out to us in the meantime. So if it doesn't make sense, if it's confusing, let us know. We'll straighten it out. These Act version 16 specials, as I mentioned, are good for orders placed through Wednesday, September 11, 2013. Act version 16 is estimated to ship in mid-September. We won't recommend that any of our clients be the first ones to install it or first ones to be the sort of guinea pigs. We'd rather have ourselves do that. Let us see if there's any real issues or anything like that with the new software. And then usually within a few weeks, we're ready to start rolling some things out to some of our clients, with the majority of our clients upgrading later in the fall or early next year. Doesn't mean, though, you should wait on the software itself, because these are the pre-release promos. This is the cheapest you're ever going to see this software. Now, Act Premium is required for 10 or more users, so just keep that in mind. Or if you're a new Act user or you're looking to add some licenses, it's required for 10 plus users, and it's optional for smaller companies and work groups. It includes Act Web and Mobile, whereas the Pro does not. It includes advanced synchronization options, advanced security options, and team scheduling. None of those things are available in the Pro version. Just another explanation on the Silver Care and the Gold Care. Silver Care is good for 12 months, gives you access to all new feature packs as they're released. Additionally, receive the unlimited Tier 1 tech support. Gold Care gets you the same benefits as Silver, but gives you the Tier 2 support plus appointment scheduling with the support representatives. All the care packages are renewable at a pretty discounted rate at the end of your 12-month subscription. You can fill out this order form, just put in the quantities and everything above, fill out your information on the bottom, and send it to me, either my email or my fax number here. We can process this order for you immediately. You can also check the box to call me to chat more about this, and after you fill out your information, I'll call you and chat more about it. You can just shoot me an email. You can just give us a call, whatever works best for you. So we can answer questions any of those ways. We can process orders any of those ways. Whatever is easiest for you, that's how we want to work with you. So that's the price sheet. Well, like I said, we'll get that out to you later today or tomorrow via email. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and we can go from there. Now, we've got a bunch of drawings and giveaways here as well, sort of as a thank you for everybody taking the time today. Obviously, we want to educate you on the new software. We want to let you know about the excellent promo pricing. But we also want to say thank you by doing some drawings, giveaways, things like that. Okay. I'm actually being flagged that there's a number of questions that we want to address here first. So I'm actually going to hold off on the drawings and giveaways and get over to some questions here. And let's see, actually, if we can unmute Greg, he can jump on the line and let us know what some of those questions are.
Good morning, everyone. This is Greg. We have a number of questions, Marshall, about the mobile web solution. And the first one is, will the Act Mobile work with Kindle Fire?
It's not a supported device, but I can tell you that my wife actually has a Kindle Fire, and I have accessed our own Act Mobile site through that. I haven't in-depth explored all the features and functionality of it. I guess I wouldn't be terribly surprised if if not 100% of everything worked, since it's not a supported device. But I can tell you that the core functionality is available on the Kindle Fire.
Okay. There's a question about Firefox being a supported browser. You mentioned the Google Chrome.
Yeah, I mentioned Google Chrome because Google Chrome is being added as a supported browser. Internet Explorer and Firefox will continue to remain as supported browsers.
Okay. Question becomes, can the Act Mobile be accessed from any device that has a compatible browser, whether desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone?
I'm sorry, say that question again?
So they want to know if Act Mobile can be accessed from any device that has a compatible browser.
Yeah, Act Mobile is really designed. Act Mobile is really designed for the iPads, the iPhones, and the Android devices. But yeah, I mean, I'm using Google Chrome to access it. If it's an HTML5 compliant browser, then technically it should work from a desktop system as well. So if you want to just pull up something from your desktop that's quick and easy and go into Act Mobile from your normal desktop browser, yeah, you can do that.
We just had a question asked about whether you need Act Premium to use Act Mobile and Act to the Web, and the answer to that is yes, you do.
That is correct. There is a service called Sage Act, or not Sage Act Connect, I'm still using the old terminology, just Act Connect, no longer Sage, that is available for the pro users on an annual subscription basis. I think it's about $80 per year per user. So at that point, you might as well just go with the premium software anyways. It also doesn't quite have all the same functionality to it. And it's not working live. It's more of a sync utility.
Okay. There's a question about the number of contacts that will be seen via Act Mobile. So it's worth mentioning, Marshall, that no contacts are stored on the mobile devices. Do you want to explain that?
That's right. What you see in Act Mobile is what you see in your normal Act database. It is a live view into your current database. So if when you log into Act from your desktop, your laptop, whatever it might be, you see 5,000 contacts, then when you go into Act Mobile, you're going to see 5,000 contacts. Now, what Greg said there as well is also important to emphasize is that in Act Mobile, the contacts are not stored on the device. While it gives you sort of an app-like look and feel, app-like look and feel, the actual Act Mobile application is being accessed through the Internet browser on the device. So it is live. Without an Internet connection, you wouldn't have access to Act Mobile. That being said, there are a number of other options as far as how to get the data stored resident on your device if that's something you're interested in.
Marshall, a couple questions relating to Apple and how Apple users would get access to their Act data and what they would see.
Sure. With Google Chrome support and Firefox support for the web and the mobile items, that would be a good way to do it. If you need a more fully functioning Act version, unfortunately what you'd have to do is do something like VMware Fusion, Parallels, Boot Camp, one of those, because really the installed Act application is a Windows-only product. So you'd have to install it in a Windows environment, and if you wanted to integrate with, say, Microsoft Office or something like that, you'd have to be using Office on the Windows side of things. You couldn't have Office for Mac and then have that integrate with Act over on the VMware or the Parallels side of things, unfortunately.
Question came up about iPhone and iPad users, how do they download the Act Mobile? And again, there's no app there. It uses the browsers on the mobile devices, whether they're an Android device or an iOS device. Act is using the browsers on those devices to access your data live from your server.
That's exactly right. Now you can add a shortcut to your home screen or your sort of your desktop on the device. That'll take you directly to that URL, but it's still going through your internet browser. There's no app to download or install.
We have a question about Pro versus Premium, Marshall.
Okay.
And if someone has 6 to 10 users. How would you differentiate between Pro and Premium?
Well, I would say if you're anywhere close to 10 or you think you will be anytime soon, you're better off looking at Premium because there's a hard-coded limit of 10 on Pro, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense to install the Pro software just to go hire a new person next month and have to remove it all and put the new software on there. So I would definitely recommend if you're getting anywhere close to 10 users that you look at the Premium software. Now, some of the big differences between the two is the Act Web and Act Mobile is one of the main differentiators. That doesn't exist in the Pro version. That's only available in Premium. Advanced synchronization options, basically meaning you can have sync sort of set up to run in the background automatically with both on the server side and the laptop or remote computer side without really any attending to that. Something you can do in the Premium version. The Pro version poses a lot of challenges towards doing that. Advanced security options such as the ability to limit who sees what contacts when they log into the database. Pro does include public or private contacts. Public everybody sees, private only one person sees. But Premium gives you the ability to sort of pick and choose and say, okay, for these set of contacts, I would like these 5 users to be able to see them, but not those other 5. That sort of thing. Or let me have the customer service department see these contacts, but not the sales team. Same thing with some of the fields in the database. You can specify read-only versus full access versus limited access on those as well, allowing some people to be able to just see them as read-only, some people to have no access to them, some people to be able to fully edit them. Whereas in the Pro version, you only have either full access or read-only.
One of the participants today this is the first time that they had heard that Sage had sold Act to SwiftPage and expressed a little concern. Could you address that, Marshall?
Sure. The bigger concern would be had Act stayed with Sage. While Sage is an enormous software corporation, they were basically neglecting Act over the last few years. And SwiftPage has sort of a renewed enthusiasm with the Act product, and I think we can see that in this first release of theirs, that they're really putting a lot of effort into it, a lot of new features and functionality. My list of new features in this one is about 3 times as long as it was last year. And I think there's a lot of good things coming from SwiftPage. The other thing that we kind of look at with SwiftPage is SwiftPage depends on the success of Act. Sage was never dependent on the success of Act. Sage was focusing on accounting solutions and things like that and really neglecting the Act product and not putting the appropriate resources into it. SwiftPage and their email marketing services are highly dependent on the success of the Act product, and I think they're going to do everything they can to make sure that Act remains a strong, strong product in the marketplace.
Marshall, could you clarify how Act version 16 will be compatible with Office 365?
Well, Office 365 is sort of a subscription model that you have. How you access Office 365 is what's important to us. We will not integrate, or Act will not integrate with the web-based applications. So if you're using Outlook Web Access, for example, Act is not integrating with that. But if you use an installed version of Microsoft Office to access your Office 365 subscription, we'll work with that. So what the important thing to look at is what is actually installed on your computer. What version of Microsoft Office are you using to access your Office 365 subscription? And as long as that's Office 2003 or newer, 2003, 2007, 2010, or 2013, we'll be able to integrate with that product. Now, I believe in this case in particular, though, Office 365 requires, I think it's 2010 or newer, so you're likely going to be on 2010, 2013, but there's going to be no issues there as long as that's the installed product that you have on your computers accessing your Office 365 subscription.
One of our existing Act e-marketing clients asked if there are any significant changes to the e-marketing services in the new version of Act.
Not immediately, no. Later this fall, we'll likely see a new version of the e-marketing interface. I don't have a lot of specifics on that yet. We haven't received them ourselves, but there is a new version coming down the road here for the e-marketing services. And customers will be able to go to the new one if they'd like, or they'll be able to retain their existing one if they want to stay on the old platform.
We have a couple of questions about some functionality of ACT, Marshall. One is opportunities. Are they recorded for leads, or can they be recorded for existing customers?
An opportunity can be recorded on a new lead or prospect or an existing customer. Really, an opportunity in the way ACT looks at it is its potential for business or potential for a sale. So whether that's repeat business from an existing customer or it's new business from a brand new lead that you just got yesterday, ACT isn't going to differentiate in the opportunities between those. It does certainly allow you to differentiate if you'd like to flag it as new business or repeat business or whatever it might be. But ACT isn't going to limit you to only putting in opportunities, say, on leads and not allow you to do it on customers or anything like that.
Someone saw that the last email field has a date in there. They want to know how would they see the actual email. How does that play into ACT in that field?
Those emails are actually stored on the History tab of the contact record. So if you're on the History, you'll see the result here. Some of these will say email sent, and that integrates directly with Microsoft Outlook, with Google. And so when those emails are sent, they record to History. You get a history entry for that email being sent. That's what populates the last email.
Does ACT have any plans for highlighting or color coding the tabs that contain data in the contact field, so it makes it easier to see the tabs with entries?
I'm not aware of any plans for that. I'm also thinking off the top of my head here, I don't know of any add-ons that would necessarily do that either. But that's an interesting concept. If that's something that's really important, it may be something that we can look at doing some custom development on. That's something to keep in mind for all of our ACT users as well. If there's something that ACT you don't think is capable of doing, or even if it really is not capable of doing it, there are a lot of really great programmers that we work with that help us extend the capabilities of ACT beyond what we're able to do just through the user interface.
Going back to that comment, Marcia, relating to the email and the recording of email as history, a question just came in about a way of having 2 or more email addresses assigned to one record. And
yeah, you could have 10 email addresses on a contact record if you want. And when you send an email, regardless of which email address it matches, so you see the email here, you see personal email. Actually, let me start bringing that over here. You see the email address here, you see personal email here. I could have 5 other email fields on this contact record. And when I send an email out of Outlook or out of Gmail or whatever it is, as long as it matches one of those email fields, it's going to record to the history of this contact.
ACT gives everybody the ability in a multi-user environment to schedule activities for other users. And the question came up is, how do they see who scheduled the activity or who the activity is scheduled for?
Sure. From the calendar view, you can filter by user. So when you filter by a particular user, obviously it's easy to know that those activities are scheduled for that user. But let's say you're looking at an existing activity. In the Schedule For dialog box, it'll tell you who it was scheduled by as well. So in this case, it's scheduled by Chris Huffman for Chris Huffman, but you might see others where it has somebody else's name in either one of these areas. Another way of doing this is also from either the task list or the activities tab on the contact record. You can right-click and go into Customize the columns. You can add the Scheduled For and the Scheduled By columns to this list. So you can easily see that here, or from the Activities tab on the contact record as well.
The last question I have, and if others have questions, please go ahead and type them into the question area on the...
Why don't we just take this
sidebar.
last one, too, then we'll do the giveaways, and then we'll circle back to the rest of the questions at the end here as well.
Sounds good. This last one is about batch faxing. What tools are available for someone that is using faxes and still uses those as part of the business? They want to do a mail merge via fax and ACT.
The best tool out there is from our friends out in Colorado, ASDS Computer. The longtime ACT add-on developers and consultants. They provide a tool called Fax Admin. And whether or not Fax Admin can work by itself with ACT kind of depends on the way you fax things out. If it's electronic faxing, if you have a fax server, stuff like that, if you're literally using a modem in your computer. But Fax Admin is what's required to integrate the fax tools that you have at your disposal with the ACT software. And occasionally there's another product, I think it's called Fax Talk, which we've implemented alongside that to sort of ease that process of integrating the two. But it's a relatively easy thing to implement, and it's very easy to use as well. That's ASDS Computer. Okay, so let's jump back to the prizes and giveaways that we have. I want to run through and do those here while we've still got everybody on the line with us. You do need to be present to win. We've got a list of about 100 enrollees, and not everybody's here on the call. So your odds just immediately went up here towards winning one of these things. Let me actually go back in the slide here. Go back in the slide deck here. And we got our list here of the different things that we're going to be giving away. And the way I'm going to do this is I've got a list of all the names, and I'm actually going to bring that up. We're all about transparency here. So all the names of all the people that we have registered for our webinar. And then I've got a tool called, or a website called random.org, which is going to generate some random numbers for us here. So that's how we're going to do this. And it should work out rather well. At least I hope it does. Let me take these, bring them over here. Okay. So the prizes we have, let's just talk about those for just a brief second here. We're going to give away 2 different certificates to attend a public power user training class. That's here at our office in Plymouth. It's an all-day class, about a $440, $450 value on each one of those. We're also going to give away 2 attendees for our public customization and administration training class. That's online. About a $200 to $300 value there, depending on if you've attended some other classes. 1 top-line designer custom tables license. This is an awesome tool for extending some of the capabilities of ACT and giving yourself custom many-to-one tables in your ACT database. From the same developer is one of our favorite reporting tools, Top-Line Dash. We're going to give away one of those. And we've also got 2 products from Pat Egan Consulting, duplicate remover expert. So everybody's got problems with duplicates in their ACT databases, and this is the tool to help you clean those up. It makes it very easy and efficient to do it without losing any data. So it's an awesome tool. So with that, let's actually get into the giveaways here. So let me bring up the random number generator here, and let me make sure that I've got that going through the correct number down below there. I need it to go through 110. Okay. So we're going to give away these things in order here. So, all right. Let's generate the first number, 41. Greg, do we have Rick Pfeiffer on the line?
Let's check.
Rick, if you're on the line, raise your hand in the in your GoToWebinar control panel there.
I don't see Rick on the line. No.
No? Okay. Let's actually generate another one then. 99. So let me get out of that one. Number 99 is Chris Cheek from Weld Mold. Is Chris on?
No, Chris is not on.
Okay.
Everyone else just is getting luckier. That's it.
106 is Eddie Grace. Eddie on?
Ed Grace is on, yes.
All right.
He raised his
Power
hand.
user.
He's here.
All right. Okay, let's generate the next one here. This is another power user training class, number 14. Okay, number 14 is Ross Perlow. Ross, are you on the line? Do we have Ross?
Looking. No, Ross is not on the line.
Okay. Ross, we got to pull you out of there. Let's generate another one, 25. Denise Grace. A different Grace.
No. Denise is not on.
Number 2, Rebecca Manson.
Rebecca Manson's on, yes.
All right. There's our other power user attendee. Okay, good. Customization and administration now, number 40. And let's get over here. Number 40 is Chris Scott.
Chris Scott's on. Yep. He's quick to raise his hand.
Admin. Good. Yeah, keep raising your hand. It'll make Greg's job easier here as he tries to scroll through that list. All right, here's another customization and administration, number 32, Brad Albritton.
Brad's on, yes.
Great. All right, we're got a stroke of luck going here. Okay, now we've got one top-line designer custom tables license. That's number 81. Let's scroll down here. Number 81 is Darren Johnston. Oh, I'm sorry, Darren. I apologize. Actually, it's Justin Ingersoll.
Justin is not on the line.
Okay. Generate another one, number 44. Sandy Bagosi.
Sandy's on the line, yes.
Perfect.
Again, quick to raise.
Us to admin, good. They got their trigger finger on that hand-raising thing now.
They do.
All right, now we're going to do, I'm sorry, that's actually the top-line designer there. We've also got a top-line dash reporting tool to give away here. Let's do that, 106. I think we already hit 106, didn't we? No, we didn't. Oh, no, we did. That was Eddie Grace. You're only eligible to win one prize, so we got to generate another one here. 26. Eddie, go play the lottery today. 26 is Dave Trail, Horizon Sales.
Yes, Dave's there.
All right. Top line dash. And now we have 2 duplicate remover licenses. Number 88 is going to be Barb Bishop.
Barb Bishop? No, I don't see.
Barb, raise your hand if you're here. Going once,
Barb?
twice.
Oh, sorry, Barb? Yes, Barb Bishop's there, yes. Barb's there.
Okay, there we go. So the dupe remover, excellent. And last but not least, number 52 is George Johnston.
George was on earlier.
Got to be present to win.
George Johnston's on. Yes, he is.
All right, there we go. Okay. All right.
And he's got a big database, so we'll appreciate that.
Good. So we'll be in touch with all of our winners there on the prizes, and we'll take and get you some more information on how to download those, your license number, all that good stuff. So, Greg, did you get any more questions while we were there?
We have about another half a dozen. These are some excellent questions, Marshall.
Okay. Well, let me just take one quick second, Greg. I just want to do a quick recap, just let everybody know that we're really grateful for them taking the time on here today. If anybody does need to run, we are going to answer some more questions, so feel free to stay on the line if you're interested in hearing more questions or if you have questions of your own. We really appreciate you attending, and we're going to be in touch in the next couple of weeks here with each and every one of you. So thank you very much. So, okay, questions.
Questions, okay. Is there a dialer add-on for ACT?
Well,
there is a... What's that? This came up after we were talking about the fax.
Okay. Well, there is a dialer actually built in to the ACT software. It requires a traditional phone system, a Microsoft, what we call TAPI compliant phone system. You'd have to have a modem in your computer still, which you don't really see modems in typical desktop or laptops these days. But inside the preferences, there is, let's see, under communication, the dialer preferences. So there is a built-in dialer which will use your modem in the computer to dial. Now, if you have a voice over IP system or something like that, obviously you can't use the dialer because it requires more of a traditional phone system. But there are some third-party ACT products that will allow you to integrate with voice over IP. And we can certainly discuss with anybody who's interested some of the specifics of those.
Question came up about sending emails from a phone and whether those emails will get recorded in ACT, or is it not part of something with the new ACT mobile email?
Well, with the brand new features in ACT v16, you have the ability to set up your email server inside of ACT Mobile. It means the email has to come out from ACT Mobile, though. You can't just use, say, the normal email client on your iPhone and expect those to automatically go into the history, at least not using the ACT software all by itself. So with the new ACT Mobile, though, and the ability to add the email preferences in there, you can set up your email server. You can send the email direct from ACT Mobile, and it will go direct into the history of the database. For those people who don't like that idea or who really want to continue using the native mail client on the phone, whether it's iPhone, Android, iPad, whatever it is, there are some options that we can use on your server to create sort of a sync between your ACT database and your Microsoft Exchange server, where it monitors your sent folder and can look at attaching from there. That's a third-party tool, but we do have more and more clients going that direction.
Question came up about, ACT has one default email field. Can, at some point, ACT ever allow you to send email out from more than one email field on a contact record?
Well, one-off emails, yes. Email blasts, no, not at this time. You'd have to do some sort of management of that email field where you temporarily move an email into the primary field in order to be able to include that secondary field or secondary email address in a blast.
Was there an add-on that might have handled that at some point, or do you remember?
If you know of one, I'm all ears. I don't know of one off the top of my head.
Okay. Can you address the issue of security, internet security, when using the ACT Mobile?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple of different things that can be done from a security standpoint. Most of our clients don't have much of an issue with it. Most of our clients' IT departments don't, or IT departments, IT people, whatever you have, don't really have much of an issue forwarding the ports through the firewall that it requires to do this. Most of those same clients already have many other things forwarded through their firewalls anyways for other software or other utilities, so it's not much to do something for ACT as well. But for those clients who are looking for something a little more secure, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can use a VPN and require that whatever device is connecting to ACT Web or ACT Mobile authenticate to your VPN first. Phones these days have the capability to authenticate to VPNs, a virtual private network, so that would ensure that you have sort of a secure tunnel from point A to point B, and would be a good way of doing it. You can also use SSL so that the data is actually encrypted as it's transferred over the internet. You have a secure connection there. So that's HTTPS or SSL, whatever you want to call it. You can use that as well with ACT Web and ACT Mobile.
Going back to the question about using more than one email address from ACT, I should have remembered this, and it took me a few minutes to think about it, but if you are using SwiftPage for your email, the email marketing tool within ACT, then you are able to export the email addresses from a second field and import them through the web interface of SwiftPage and send out the same blast that you would send out normally through ACT. So there
there you go.
There are ways to do that using the SwiftPage interface tool. And for those of you who are not all that familiar with that, I'm sure you've heard of MailChimp or Constant Contact. It's comparable. The difference is it's built into ACT and gives you much more functionality because of that integration within ACT. Last question, is there any new functionality in version 2013 or v16 regarding searching and storing information from the web info links tab in ACT?
They didn't change anything in the web info tab, no, not in the last couple of releases. The web info tab is here. You have the ability to pull up the contacts website, Facebook, Google driving directions, all these sorts of nice things here. But no, there's no new functionality as far as storing or attaching anything as it relates specifically to the web info tab. Now, you do have the social updates tab, which allows you to store the direct link to their LinkedIn profile and the direct link to their Facebook profile, whereas the web info just does a search for it and hopefully finds the right person. So if that's kind of what you're referring to, then I guess there's a little bit of expansion there. That came in the 2013 release.
Question from one of our longtime ACT users. So with SwiftPage moving away from the annual releases, do you think we'll see more attention from the ACT developers to fixing some of the small bugs that tend to have gotten overlooked in the past?
I think that's going to be one of the big benefits. Yeah, absolutely. Because the unfortunate part about the way it was done in the past with the annual releases is that, you know, the new version of the software came out in September. There were some high priority defects at times that needed immediate attention. But once those are resolved, it seemed like a lot of the resources were going towards then getting that next version going. What are we going to do for that next version so we can sell that again in 9 months? So I think that, yeah, a lot of attention is being paid to those sort of cumbersome defects that may not be all that big, but just are something you see on a regular basis. A lot of attention is also being paid to the ideas that ACT users are posting in the community forum. There's a share your ideas section of the community forum. It's community.act.com, and that's where they're really going for a substantial portion of the new features and functionality that they're sort of putting up for voting and things like that to see what goes into the product. So not only will they be addressing probably some more defects than they have in the past, but also taking a lot more customer suggestions on new features and functionality as well. So if you haven't explored the ACT community, check that out, community.act.com, and you can go to the Share Your Ideas and post things in there or give kudos to the ideas that you like.
Yeah, those kudos, which, it's simple to click a button there once you're registered, is really significant today. I mean, it never meant an awful lot when Sage owned ACT. It does today. The product managers are using that and check it every single day. And just as a little insight, you're seeing the beta version, so we're maybe less than a month away from releasing the new version. It's this time between now and the release that the developers are working very hard to continue to fix the bugs. Marshall hasn't addressed any bugs here in this release, but every release of ACT has hundreds of small bugs that are fixed, and it's just things that will make everything better for the entire community. That's it, Marshall. We don't have any additional questions.
Okay, great. Well, we can hang on the line for a few more minutes. If any other questions do pop up, certainly feel free to post those to the chat there. And again, we really appreciate everybody attending today. We hope you like what you saw. We know you're all busy, but we thought it was important to communicate a lot of these things to you. So thank you for taking the time, and we'll be in touch, like I said, in the next couple of weeks here. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you very much. And we'll stay on for a few more minutes if you have questions. If we see it dying out, we'll log off. I'll leave him, Marshall. I think we can stop the recording.